I am here today with Carrie, who is a veteran in Pilates. She has been doing Pilates over 10 years?
Over 10 years.
And we had an amazing conversation actually yesterday, and I was like, I would like to do a testimonial because she's going to tell us what Pilates has done for her.
Okay, so mostly I see the biggest body changes for the better, like to form my figure in a prettier feminine way than any other exercise I ever did. And it releases pains all over my body from all other exercise that I do, from injuries, from daily grind, just when I have a sore back from sitting all day or what have you. And it increases my strength to make my daily life more enjoyable and not, difficult, like going to the grocery store or whatever. Just the daily life is easier and less painful, and I'm stronger. And
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What has been your experience of us working together?
So with Maria, you're very intuitive. I find that the cues that you give are they're very exact at what I need to work on. So you see what I'm doing wrong immediately, and you're able to give cues that help me to engage muscles that I cannot engage by myself on my own. And even when I go home and try to repeat, I really struggle and I try to recall. But it's when you're seeing what I'm doing in that second, you're able to see and tell me what it is I need to work on. And when I'm not doing something right, you say, okay, let's hop off, and you come up with another exercise. Let's do this. Now let's go back and do that exercise to get me to be able to activate and engage the muscles that I can't do by myself.
And that's actually really interesting because Carrie is very aware at this point of her body, so she picks up on cues a lot faster than somebody who is starting. Talk about the importance of precision in Pilates, because I think that's something that people don't really realize, what a small change in the movement can do for you.
So when I first did Pilates, the very first time at Bally's in a class where the teacher sat in a chair in the front of the class and just gave out the calls. Mm-hmm. And you just go through the motions. You're not really working out. So I can do a lot of motions by myself, right? I know the exercise and what you're supposed to do. But if you're not engaging the proper muscle, you're pulling on your shoulder or pulling on the joints as opposed to engaging the muscle. So the precision that you're referring to of engaging the proper muscle, such as engaging the inner thigh over the glutes. That's the big one. That's really, really hard.
There's a lot of people, yes.
Right? Or engaging the inner thigh instead of the quads, right? Because the quads take over, and that's very easy, and I could go through the motions of doing the exercise, but I'm not engaging my core, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you don't want big quads and a big glute, right? We don't want that.
We want balance.
We want the long, slender connections. I think that is something that we've worked on a whole lot together, is that I've been learning more now with connecting everything together instead of, okay, now engage this and engage that, engage it. It's all working together. So that's taken a long time.
And that takes a long time, which is why Pilates is not something that you do you've been doing this for 10 years. And how much more are you still learning? Same thing for me.
Right. And I will say that, so I've been doing that, but there's been pauses for various reasons. And, like I had been doing it for 6 years. And then when I moved away, I was by myself. I thought, I can do this by myself. I know now. I went into old habits of not engaging certain muscles, even though I was thinking I was doing it, I really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you have that one-on-one with someone saying, hey, look, it's this, and even physical touch, you know, because sometimes, you know, you'll say, okay, you know,
engage
here, and I think I'm doing it, but it's not until you touch me, oh, there it is, because I can't find it. So, yeah.
Very good.
Over the years, it's changed. So I think I appreciated even more the need of having a teacher as opposed to just doing it by myself. So now I have the teacher and I go home, I work on it by myself, I come back and I say, hey, what about this? I'm trying this, can you repeat that for me again? And we work on it again.
Carrie keeps deepening her workout by fine-tuning those little details which make a big difference in execution and in the burn and effectiveness of an exercise, right?
Definitely. And doing homework. I think that's also really key because I think in my older mentality was, okay, I'm coming here to work out. That's my workout.
You don't take it with you.
Right, and then if I just wait until I come back the following week, I have to reset everything. So the effectiveness is when I go home and work on it and then come back and work on the same thing. It's just so much more effective. The more I put into it, the more I get out of it.
Yeah, that's how it
I think
was.
It's taken me a long time to really get it. I mean, it's easy to say that, but to do it.
But it's true. I think anybody who has done Pilates and the type of work that we do, I can attest to that. You just think after 10 years, you just got it. And it just keeps getting progressively harder and harder. And you're like, how much deeper can it get? Like, how much more can I engage? And it's amazing what the body can do, right? You do one rep and everything is burning up. Talk about Pilates and injuries. You recently went through an injury.
Okay, so tremendous. And I think that's where I really appreciated you the most, even though I appreciated you before or whatever, you know, that I could tell, oh, you're intuitive, you know, you're able to see very clearly, even when I'm trying to cheat a little, you know, think, oh, you know, I'll let that go. No, she sees immediately. But when on my bike, so I had a shoulder injury. I fell off my bike. It was severe. It was just a horrible thing. And you were able to work with me. We kept working out where, you know, like a past mentality might be, I'm done now. You know, I have to wait till I heal. And you helped me to work through the healing process. And you knew, okay, just move your arm a little bit this way, a little bit this way. And you're able to do the healing for me, the healing process.
She did the work really, I was just giving her.
Yeah, but exercises that were phenomenal to do that I could do. And I think that's the hard thing. Like the doctor's like, okay, do this, go through these motions. So I would go through the motions and tears would run down my face and I hated it. But with you, you're able to say, okay, move a little bit this way, move a little bit this way. All right, engage here and here. And when I would engage in certain ways, it would release the pressure from the joint and I could do the movement and do the exercise. Anyways, you worked with me through that tremendously. And instead of, I think it would have just been a lot worse if I had not had you through that time. And also, even with the injury, still working the whole body and not just saying, okay, well, you can't do that now. You always knew something we could do.
Yes, to keep the body moving, because that's the one thing that happens with an injury. People are like, it hurts, so I don't want to move. And then it gets worse and worse and worse. Versus we can still do a lot of things and be gentle to the spot that's healing.
Right, and still work the arm. I think that was what's key there, because I think I would have, if I'd been by myself, I would not have worked the arm at all. Like, would only do the left side or something.
Because we avoid what hurts.
Right. but you knew things that I could do and positions that I could get into to keep active and keep it working. So
Very
it's
good.
tremendous healing process.
We briefly talked about this today, the investment of time and money. So Pilates is not a cheap thing to do.
No, it's extremely expensive. And I'm a school teacher, and I was sharing it earlier. Many years ago, I had gone into a Pilates place and saw the price and was just like, I'm a school teacher. They kept trying to sell me, and I was like, I'm a school teacher. I can't do this. But now it's part of my budget because it's not a luxury. I thought it was a luxury. I thought, okay, well, paying for private classes is something that rich people do or something that people do that don't need anything else, don't have other needs. But now, after having suffered not having classes, it is part of my budget. It's like, okay, I have this much for my food, I have this much for gas and house and exercise. And, and when I've got a little bit extra, it's like, okay, I'm going to do another class or
Yeah, she's
whatever.
great like that.
So, instead of, I don't know, it's just become a priority. And I know when I don't do it, then I suffer myself. It's not a luxury for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a luxury. This is part of my self-care. If I want to live a quality life, this is what I need to do.
I love it. I love it. And on that note, I thank you so much for this testimonial, and we'll see you guys later next time. Bye.